And welcome everybody to Co-op
Oh,
Guild.
crap. Hold on a second.
Oh, I got Bairnt. He's gone. So,
Continue.
as normal. Welcome everybody. This is our co-op chat, our live chat
I haven't
about
had coffee
various
yet.
board game
Okay,
topics.
there, got my coffee.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I didn't realize that.
To get you coffee.
Got my volume on my phone up. I'm just a mess right now. Okay, I'm good.
It's been a while. It's been a while. You're just shaking the rust off. That's all.
You can
It
start
has
now.
been a while. It's
You
been
start.
a few weeks since we've been able to do this.
Yeah, a few.
Have
Yeah.
I done any of these since April?
I don't think we've done any of these since April. No, we did the one with the meal.
Yeah, with a meal.
Yeah, I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, it's been
Oh, it's good to be here, Steve.
it's been crazy trying to get everyone's schedules together. So I'm glad it worked out. So.
No.
But I see,
Yeah,
like I said, various board game topics. We try to do this as much as we can, but schedules get in the way, of course. But see, lots of friends here. See, Snow's here. Matt with a crazy kill on the boss this morning.
Don't worry, I threw a knife at him.
You threw a knife. Good. That's good. Brian's here. Let's see, Derrick, how's it going? Frederick, Rachel. Oh, Rachel, sorry. That's Rachel. Raphael. Hey, Raphael. Sorry about that. Frederick. David, who else we got here? Saw Jess on here. Alexis is here. Awesome.
Happy Mother's Day weekend to all. This one's to all you moms out there.
That's right.
Let's sing us a Barry White song now.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
All the snakes out there.
Hey, Danny.
You see if I can't be Hey, Danny, how's it going? So hey, Ron. Cool. Okay. Yes, we're here with a topic that Bairnt suggested. That was a really good topic. This is one that we were trying to meet to talk about this, but schedules weren't aligning, so I'm glad it's happened today. So, Bairnt, you wanna lead us off on what this topic is?
Yeah, let me get my notes real quick. Okay, here they are. So this is, what are we doing? We're talking about games and what makes them stick around in your collection versus flying off your shelf.
Exactly.
And deciding they need a new and better home.
Yep. That is right. So you get a game, you play through it, and then sometimes you might keep it, sometimes you might get rid of it. But what's the difference? What factors do we each look at and help make that decision ourselves? And I love to hear in the chat what you guys do. So glue, that makes it stick around. Okay, Yogi.
Together. Glue is what holds us all together.
Hey, maple syrup on the box.
There we go. There we go. Now you're playing.
Of course,
probably for our Canadian friends, right?
Playing games with Elf now. That's
Oh, good one, Yogi. Sweet.
Yes. Steve, what do you got for us first? Because I know you've got a list of stuff where I did my notes. They're right here. Go.
You guys are selling games? Sometimes we do. Not.
Yeah,
I'm really bad at selling games, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really bad at getting things out of my collection.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah, you guys are great. Have you got rid of anything yet? Yeah, that's kind of like.
Bye, Felicia. That's how that.
I wait until the wife tells me I can't buy a new shelf and her gets mad and games piling on the floor. Then I look for games I can give away for friends.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors that go into this. The basic one, which is what everybody does, is that if you see something on crowdfunding, think it's cool, back it, get it 3 to 5 years later, and then you play it and you're like, ugh, then you get rid of it, right? Whether you sell it, whether you trade it, whether you give it away, that's the easy one.
Yep. So I had an idea where to start this discussion. So I kind of feel like there's probably a difference between a campaign game versus a a session game,
one and done
game, one off.
One off.
One off. Okay, we're doing one off. One off versus a campaign game. So what I mean by that, campaign game is a game that lets you play. Something will persist, and you come back to the game and you keep playing, and then it keeps persisting and changing as you go through. Normally has a story, but not necessarily. But it has the games linked together, of course, versus a one-off, which is you sit down, play, put it away, come back sometime later, and it's a completely different experience. It doesn't matter if you play before or not. But I feel like those two approaches to games, I think they might have different factors for keeping or getting rid of. I'm curious about you guys for campaign games. Do you feel like you're more likely to get rid of a campaign game versus a one-off?
We're going to be different on this one. I'm going to say no, and Derrick's going to say yes.
I'm gonna say no with you.
Oh, he is.
Okay.
We're too exciting yet.
I think it's more. I have a lot of the games, like as I look at the stuff on my shelf, I have a lot of campaign games. So it's not because it's a one-off or campaign, but I have also a lot of like Dice Throwing, which is a solo play, a one-time play game as well. I have a lot of those. I have the Anarchy. So there's it all depends. I think it's more if I play a campaign game. I have a lot of campaign games. That's a problem. But if I play a campaign game and I beat it, then I get rid of it.
Yep, 100%. You don't need to keep a campaign game around, even though they say there are multiple endings and it can end in so many different branching paths.
Infinite replayability. No, it's not.
Infinite replayability. Like, okay, we played Iridia, case in point, campaign game because you're leveling up, you're gaining new skills, things like this. And Remy, you and Colin are in the same boat. He does that all the time. He sells off his game and he's like later he's like, oh, I totally want to play that game again. I'm gonna go get that game again. Really? It's super fun. But so case in point, we're playing Iridia and they say like, oh, you can play this multiple times, and they're like thinking about it, we're like, no, you can't. You cannot play this multiple times. The only thing that would change would be the characters you're playing.
Correct.
Because you're gonna experience a lot of the same stuff. There's not like a lot that changes in that game. And there probably are some games that have different things happening to them. But if it's a very strong narrative, like something like Oathsworn, I don't have to play that game again.
Right.
But all the way through, sure, there's branching paths in the story, but they always meet at that same boss, right?
Yeah.
And so getting to those bosses that one time was good enough. And I don't think I'll ever need to play it again unless there's a group of people like, dude, I totally want to play this game. And I'm like, all right, let's play this game. It'll be awesome. But I don't know when that's going to happen or if.
Right.
Mike says KDM is a campaign.
It's not a campaign game to me. To me, that's a legacy game. Like, where well, here's why. As soon as the settlement fails, the game's over. There's no end to the game. Just you reach the last Lanternier, and you can keep going, or you could just be like, I'm done. So, to me, it's one of those games that I don't feel like it's like there's no story to the damn game. I don't think. I think it's just kind of you're just evolving the settlement.
Okay, next week, Bairnt and Derrick have a 60-minute conversation about the difference. Because I'm just the opposite in that one.
Yeah, that's Brian said. It's a roguelike. It's a roguelike game to me. That's what it is.
But Yogi says it's a campaign. This is a story.
If there's this, to me, I guess everything's about the settlement. And
stories happen to settlement at certain Lanterniers. You learn about things.
Then I didn't get that far and I died. So there you go. So I stand corrected.
Emergent story, emergent narrative,
emergent narrative. There
That's
you
what
go.
I call visible disagreement. Yes. Bairnt's face.
Visible disagreements. So I mean, overall, I think campaign games they're definitely my bread and butter when it comes to what I enjoy. And it probably takes up a vast majority of my collection, even though behind you see probably only one-off games sitting right here. It's kind of funny. But behind that, over here, all back there is like campaign games. I got Aeon Trespass. I've got Madara. I've got the Lord of the Rings game. So I mean, all that stuff is campaign-esque games. And I think they stay in my collection because I'm sure I might have only played it a little bit, but I'm excited to see where it goes. Now, if I play a little bit of a game, a campaign game, and I don't really like where it's going, then it goes away, like Iridia.
Oh, did you already call that? Oh, I didn't know y'all called that. I thought y'all were still playing it. We can't hear you anymore.
Either I muted myself or you had to hear my sub pump go off. It's up to you. It's when you want.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what's just happened?
So yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with how much you play the game. So again, I've only played like a short part of some of these narratives. Like I've only played a little bit of Harakiri, but I'm ready to jump into it when the expansion. That's another thing. Sometimes update packs and expansions. We had a whole topic about this and how it goes on your shelf then until you get those, and then you can jump them back out. And so I think I'd say there's a good 4 games I have that are waiting for those kind of thing. So I haven't gotten rid of it, and I don't want to because I want to wait for the update pack. And that's probably a different thing than a campaign game because it's totally different.
I'm curious because you've mentioned like you go through a campaign game, you feel like it's got a strong narrative so that we play through once, that's all you need for the story. Are there any games like that you have kept in your collection? And if you have, why?
Kept sorry for the story.
He's asking if you've ever if you've beat a campaign game and have you kept it to play, like have you kept it and to play it again? Is that what you're asking?
No, just kept it for whatever reason. I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah,
No.
Swarm. I
Nope.
use the terrain in my Dungeons and Dragons games.
I'll do it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but for me, no. Once I beat the campaign, I get rid of it.
And besides, Bill painted those monsters so well, I never want to get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yes, I still have Madara, and like I said, if for some bizarre reason, and you know what, like even Colin said, 10 years from now, if I could probably pull it out and play it. Sadly, there were so many memorable moments in that game. There's gonna be like some that I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember how this went. So I'm gonna have to, if you guys choose the option here and stuff like that.
David, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's the other thing, David. A lot of those stuff, I have not beat them. And
no. As after I beat it, it's gone. I don't think I've hung on to no campaign game I still have that I've beaten already.
Well, hold on. Don't you still have Earthborn Rangers?
Because the next part of it's coming.
Okay, so you do keep it. New stuff's coming.
Yes.
Okay. But if you don't know if new stuff's coming and you beat a campaign, would you sell it and then maybe rebuy it later?
No, because I think I would have made the decision that I'm done.
Okay,
so that's the reason why I still have Earthborn Rangers, was because I knew more was coming.
Yeah. So in Earthborn Rangers, if you finished it, you didn't know it was done. In your mind, you say, "Okay, this is done. I'm gonna move on from it." And then even if that new content, you probably wouldn't.
Correct. I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it. But Earthborn Rangers, once again, this I know Bairnt will disagree with me on this, but this falls into the same thing of how far I had gotten on KDM, where I felt that there was a story, but after you beat the story, it's like just the game actually says just keep going, get these achievements, so you can keep playing it on and on and on, past the story and just play a game, or you can. But then I look at games like Arkham Horror. After I beat that, I'm done. I don't want to play it again.
I mean, you think about it, it's kind of like New Game Plus on a video game. Do you ever hit the New Game Plus button? No, you just like, okay, now you can keep going around the world until you level up to 99 and
that's true.
Weapon. Nope.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. I beat the game. I'm good. You can take your New Game Plus and you can.
Yeah. So, but that I knew, even I knew that there was more coming, and that's why I'm still hanging on to it. Otherwise, if they had what's a game that did that? There was a game that did that where I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun, and they were like, we're bringing out a new expansion, and I'd already called it and I moved on.
Yeah, Mike. Derrick has always has something coming. So Colgate doesn't need to come back. That's right.
I've slowed a lot. I've slowed a lot on backing games. So
it's actually very true, and I think we are a different breed to be talking about this versus the normal consumer.
Yeah.
We have that going for us too, as being a channel. We are excited to show off and play newer things as they come out. Sometimes, even though if you look at Meet Me at the Table's last month of stuff, I don't think we played anything before 2000 on our entire channel the last entire month.
Yeah, I think when I know a few people have said like they'll cull a game before even opening it. I've done that, but I've done that because I've watched Bairnt play it, or I've watched Steve play it, or I've watched Colin play it, and I've been like, yep, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
A good case of that. What's the one by Chip Theory Games? The futuristic one.
Burn Cycle.
I watched the playthrough of that, and I was like, this is not a me game, buy. And I sold it immediately.
Yeah, definitely not a Derrick game for sure.
Now, Steve, what about you?
Yeah.
For campaign games specifically, for me, I actually will replay campaigns, but I only keep the ones that are short. I'm talking about ones that are like 6 to 10 missions long, usually. Liar?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, the card game.
And he also has Sword and Sorcery.
Right, but no, I said those too. But I'm saying that the ones that I really want to keep are the ones that are shorter generally, that are quick to play.
It's funny you mention that. That is another. I think that's another big topic right there. Is length.
Yeah, the ones with long campaigns, I probably still have just because I don't get rid of stuff because I'm horrible at that. But those are likely to get rid of versus other stuff in my collection. They're
Yeah.
closer on the chopping block, I'd say.
And Greg asked, what about keeping games for nostalgic or sentimental reasons? That's why I still have Gloom of Killforth. It is going nowhere.
Yep.
So yes, I have many games I have for nostalgic and sentimental reasons.
I'm about as sentimental as a rock. My wife. So nope, I got nothing here that's sentimental to me.
Defenders of the Realm is one of our go-tos. That's
Yeah.
always gonna be in my collection. Because that's one that when my brother-in-law was visiting us, he was in Minnesota at the time. We were in Iowa, and he would come visit regularly, like every month, and we'd always play Defenders of the Realm with him. It was always a blast, and then we'd always watch Netflix, but we had to watch at most a 1-star movie, like the worst, crappiest movie we would watch. Just watch, we watch
Please
stuff
tell
like
me.
what's that, like the Sharknado we watched.
Yes,
And
I was gonna
like,
ask if it was that.
yeah,
Yes.
Sharknado was one of them, and like the Mega Piranha, and what's that Mega Shark one? Which all those like horrible type movies, we'll watch them all.
And Sharktopus, Return of Sharktopus.
Yes,
Yeah.
Why do they all have an aquatic theme? Why
Because
is
they're
every bad
awesome.
movie
I don't
You
know.
haven't
It
even
is
watched
awesome.
Ghost Shark yet. Ghost Shark killed a kid on a slip and slide. It was impressive.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, that has a lot of nostalgia for me. So that's not going anywhere for sure.
Yeah.
The other ones too, like
old games.
Runebound.
I mean, like I've got my Aliens game. I wouldn't say it's nostalgic, but I am never getting rid of it because I just love the IP.
Yeah, it's nostalgic in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. You make me look nostalgic. Don't let my wife hear that.
So yeah, definitely that. Yeah, I know Snow's mentioned Lord of the Rings isn't a long campaign, though it's highly replayable. That's the other big one for me. Like if I want to keep a campaign game around, I normally, because of replay some way, and it could be replaying different approaches, like Valor and Villainy. We did finish that campaign. I will never probably play a campaign ever again. But it's different because throughout the campaign you unlock cards and stuff, and then you can play one-offs and all that stuff. And there's a lot of different approaches to the game and experiences. So yeah, so there's like, yeah, it's easy keep for sure. So I guess it depends on that. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, like that is also nostalgia. I'm gonna keep that thing around because I played that so much for years and years and years. So, and I guess that's another thing. Jumping a little bit to a different topic is, I feel like I will more likely keep a game if it's going to be hard to find in the future. And I'm going to shout out Gears of War, for example.
Oh, sure.
I don't still have the Gears of War board game. I don't play it very often, but I know if I got rid of it, it's going to be really, really hard to find another copy. So I think that also drives into what stays on my shelf or goes away. There you go. Yeah.
Another one I'll never get rid of because it's not easy to get a hold of.
Yep.
I mean, I could probably get rid of it and then get it back if I needed to, but it's still not one that's made anymore.
Right.
I don't think I have that. I think even if I had Warhammer Quest and I didn't like it, I would get rid of it.
Yeah, totally. I like it though. So
but if
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should never ever sell Warhammer Quest.
Right. I saw that. That's why I pulled it off the shelf. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think I don't, and especially the ones that say like, oh, not going to retail and stuff like that. Like, okay, so I got a Kickstarter game that's never going to retail, and I enjoyed what I played of it so far. Do I keep that game or do I kind of get rid of it because it's not? I know I'm not gonna pull it off for a long time. Kind of thing. Like there you go. So there.
Yeah, I think my head goes to
just straight up.
Somebody else will like this game. It's just sitting on my shelf, and I preferred it at least get played. Yeah. So out the door goes.
And usually, that's a very good thing.
And usually, what ends up happening is that I put it up for about a week to sell, and if it doesn't sell, I donate it. So, I donated. I think I donated my entire Hoplomachus Victorum because it didn't sell. I donated it to that Potions and Pixels here in town. So
nice. Yeah, we've done that before. We've given games to the Battleground Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor. Is that if you can find another copy of it, which is something always another reason why I sleeve too, honestly, because like, well, I can't replace this stuff, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
drives it.
Yeah. Raphael, I grew up the same way, but my thing was more. It was more make use of the best space, and
Hmm.
I promised myself that if my I bought X number of Calyx shelves, and if they ever become full, stuff needs to come off because that means I'm not playing everything. And it's true. I'm not playing everything on my shelf, so why hang on to the things I don't need? So I think that's where my head goes to is
Yeah.
What was interesting for a long time, I was following the H index approach, which is probably another topic we should talk about. The H index is used in scholarly publications, but it has been applied to board game collections as well. And long story short, what it is, it's the way of getting value out of your collection, essentially. Meaning that, like, making sure that all the games in your collection get played a lot. And so, um, I won't go through the math of it right now because it's a lot. But long story short, I was doing that quite a bit, just making sure I would use that as a guide to like, hey, what game should I play next? Let's look around my H index and figure out what would make sense. So, and that helped a lot from that standpoint. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. That's another topic we should go through. Is like going back to older games because there's always so much
Oh
focus
yeah.
on the
I
new.
love going back to older games.
I think that's what Colin and I do quite a well. Colin does it more than I do for sure. But it's kind of what we've been doing lately. I mean, I played Myth. I played This War of Mine lately. I mean, these are
Mhm.
all old games now. I mean, I know there's a second edition of This War of Mine. That was one of the reasons I played it. Plus, Dicing with Death just did a playthrough. And if anybody doesn't know who they are, please go check them out. They're awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, they just did a playthrough of it, and that was super fun to watch. So yeah, I mean, going back to older games is I think a good stuff. Just to go back, I want to go back to something Yogi brought up because this is actually important as well. Not for Steve, because Steve only paints his minis gray. Um, it says,
Yep.
what do you do if you paint the game and upgrade a few things and then you'll never get rid of it? Is that true? And actually, that's 100% true. Um, and again, Colin is a huge proprietor of this, but like Colin says, he only does that, and I do too, to games that I really like and are super excited to keep around. I think I know I don't do this, but he does. He'll do like a couple practice plays and he'll play a few games with his kids before he decides if it's worth painting and blinging, I guess you could say. Where sometimes I'm just excited for a game and I'm like, oh my god, just give me
I'm with you. I'm with you, Bairnt.
okay, they paint the guy and I play like
Uh,
two missions and I have like 5 bad guys painted and two of my heroes, and I'm like, this game is not good. And then I'm like, well, I painted it. Do I keep it? No. Then I sell it.
yeah,
But if I
yeah,
can get like a whole game painted or something, yeah, there's a lot of times it's really tough to get rid of that game. Um, More so than it is for Colin. Colin actually still has no problem getting rid of fully painted games. He's done that before.
yeah.
Um, but I have a hard time getting rid of it because of the time and energy I put into that then.
Mm.
Oh, no, I don't have that. I'm with Colin because I painted Lobotomy too, and I was like, gone. um,
Really? I thought you were excited for that game.
I got to play it, and it's not bad. It needs work. So I'll say that it's a game of a specific time. But I painted that. I painted Zombicide, Black Plague, and when Marvel Zombies came out, I culled that.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have a problem getting rid of a game that I've painted.
Remy, come on. I mean, I do get rid of some games that I painted, but I've never gotten rid of a fully painted game because I know that that's a game that I must really enjoy if I painted the entire thing.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, some games are only 4 miniatures.
The problem is the games I haven't painted, like Cthulhu Death May Die. I really need to paint that game.
Right. Not only does Colin have that fully painted, he's bling that thing out to the next
Oh, I
degree.
did too. I did too with the same guy. The same guy who blinked his out. I bought stuff from him as well. It's Colin's fault.
Yep. Well, Dale, he says transferred my Black Plague minis to Massive Darkness 2. So there's
Oh.
use the other games that you have.
Yeah, I have Massive Darkness too, but I had already this was go to Steve's point. I had already gotten rid of Black Plague when Mark gave me his copy of Massive Darkness 2. And I was like, oh, here's this conversion pack that, oh, well, throw that in the corner because I'm not going to rebuy Black Plague.
Right.
Yeah. Does having it painted raise its value though?
Not from what I found when I tried to sell stuff.
Yes and no. I don't think I've ever tried to make money on it, but I think it could go either way. I used to do Warhammer minis a long time ago, and I sold some of my Warhammer minis a while ago because they were painted. Yes, I was able to get more money for them, but that's a totally different topic. And no, I'm not a commissioned painter. I just stopped playing that faction. But when it comes to board games, I think it makes it easier to sell. I wouldn't say it makes you more money. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you talk about commissioned painters. Curtis over at Coffee House Productions, he's a commissioned painter. Like, he paints minis and sells them.
Nice.
So if you want minis painted, reach out to Curtis.
Yeah, I was watching his painting video the other day. It was kind of fun. So
yeah,
that's weird. Like, I don't paint. It's not that. I mean, honestly, just the time and everything. I know I won't be able to do it. And I have this severe, like, I don't know, story playing in my head, which is like, I'm gonna fail and screw up. It's gonna look horrible. I'm gonna hate myself for it, type of thing. So, like, all this anxiety, like, oh, I can't do it. So anyway, but it's funny because I still enjoy. I really enjoy seeing other people's painting and watching people paint and stuff like that. That's, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to see people create that stuff. So.
So another thing that keeps games around that I want to talk about is the mechanisms. First off, Paul's be happy I use the word mechanisms and not mechanics.
That's true.
The mechanisms of a game, I think, are a strong reason why some games stick around. And I think you're going to find the mechanism parts sometimes flying around in those one-off games that you're talking about more often than anything else. And I think because I have a lot of one-off games, competitive games that have mechanisms that we really enjoy. Like, we have the push your luck mechanism in Kibitos and the potion game, the
Potion Explosion?
Quacklenberg.
Oh, Quack, yeah.
And we would play those games quite a bit. L has a mechanism where it's like making the pieces fit into certain parts of puzzles and stuff. That works for us. We enjoy that game. Other mechanisms would be things like card drafting, what do you call it? And just straight euros, what makes certain euros good and stuff like that. The mechanism worker placement. So I think finding games that fit those mechanisms that you enjoy is a way of keeping a game around. Like, I've played Feast for Odin. It's not in my house anymore. Away. But I love Kibitos. I love Quacklenberg. I love the push your luck mechanic on those games. And so those are going to stay in our collection and are planning to be blinged out pretty soon. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have any mechanisms that you really enjoy that you found. Like, I'm going to guess that Steve, half his collection is stealth games. So
in my notes, I had that written down as a bullet point to talk about. Yes.
I don't think I do. I don't think I do have a mechanism that like this one thing. The what?
One-off questing games.
But I like campaigns too.
You like what?
I like campaigns as well. I've got a what's Dawn of Madness, big campaign. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I have a specific one.
Dawn of Madness?
Yeah, I love Dawn of Madness. That's not a one-off?
Yeah, it's only 3. It's 2 parts, and then it's
a long campaign. It's long.
It's a long one-off game. I'll give you that. We're crying out loud. It's long. That's a one-off game too.
I mean, I have wondering. Yeah, I guess every campaign you could call a one-off. I have Kinfire Chronicles. It's a campaign game, but
well, yeah, but see, Dawn of Madness. You bring your character out, you play through the little story that person has, you put it away. And it's like, I guess you could call it a 2 story. It just doesn't feel like a campaign game to me because
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is, but I definitely see your point. Kinfire, I like campaign games. I played through Gloomhaven. I played through tons of stuff. So
yes, you do. I just like the mechanics. I know you really enjoy stuff like Cthulhu Death May Die. You enjoy the other one.
Yes, that one. But also
Right.
the other one too.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Wait, no, hold on. There we go.
No, I don't.
Is there
Yeah,
any mechanisms
I
that
think
you
I've
enjoy?
searched for something that I've just been like, oh, this thing in a game is a surefire always
Okay.
win for me, and I don't think I've ever found that.
See, Steve has, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stealth.
Yogi's like, my games are hiding behind the invisibility cloak, which is true, because right behind your invisibility cloak come down, there they are. So,
So then my question to you is this is actually perfect. So look at watch this segue. It's gonna be great. So first off, I should probably never do that again.
segue.
So when you segue into the next part, here we go. So if it's not a mechanism that really you grasp onto, Derek, what about a theme then? So maybe there's a theme that you really grasp onto that.
No, not that either, because I
Horror.
love sci-fi, fantasy, and horror.
Horror.
But that's not a theme. If I see horror, I'm not going to be like, oh, grab that game. That one that you talked about on co-op chat with the lights, with the horror game, the dark,
yeah,
the one
Yeah,
you
it
play
doesn't
in the
mean like
dark.
everyone, but
I was like,
you,
nope, I don't want that.
but you, I know it doesn't mean like everyone. It's just like you like horror stuff. Like I don't go for every stealth game either, but
Yeah, but I think that's what I'm saying. Like horror, sci-fi, fantasy, detective stuff. Like Orange Shell Overcome was hella fun, and it wasn't horror. So I think like I don't think it's about the theme either.
Well, it doesn't. It's not exclusive. Is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean you like can't enjoy other stuff, but like you tend to focus on horror stuff, right? Yes. I mean, I have other things, not just stealth. You know.
No, I
different.
get that, but I think like my collection is not built of the mass majority is horror. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's very varied. There are horror games, but there are not. There's a ton that aren't. So I mean, I have 11, which is a soccer manager or football manager game. You know, so I don't think there's a theme that does it. There's something. I think Colin's been trying to figure out what that is for a while, but I don't know what that thing is that I look for in a game. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's all about story. I think.
I'm kind with Snow here. Light and cute. Like whenever I'm going through the co-op corner covering the news, I see a game with like light and cute artwork and everything. I'm like, oh man, must avoid. Something about that just draws me in. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go for it necessarily all the time, but those presentations of those games definitely grab me for sure. But oh yeah, talking about stealth. Yeah, stealth deck builder, stealth area control, stealth dice checkers. Don't have enough. Exactly, you grab me. Yeah, those all different, right? It's all different. Yeah, that's one that's I focus on for sure. So I'm a sucker for stealth and Civ games.
So yeah, you do like Civ games for
I
sure.
love Civ games, but the problem is I like co-op more than Civ, and there's like only two. Actually, I heard there's a new one I missed. There's 3 co-op Civ games out there. So I gotta try to see if we can dig into the next one. But yeah, it's basically Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor, and Voidfall are the Civ co-op games. The other one I heard about recently was Space Empires, which is competitive, but apparently have a expansion that makes it co-op. So I gotta look into that. But long story short, there's basically that's a non-existent for the most part. Like,
so you'll gravitate towards 4X games as long as they're cooperative.
Yeah, exactly. But for stealth, that is one that grabs me because I love seeing the different ways people approach stealth in games, and it's just fun for me. So.
And Dale nailed. No, I think Matt nailed it on the head.
Which one? Sorry.
Matt just figured out.
It says I like games where I can be punished, and then Dale's reply was games with dice.
Yes, for sure. What can be a horror game? Yes.
Yeah, what's that? Blood Bowl? I think Blood Bowl, but Blood Bowl's too complex for me, man. I was hoping there was a game that was supposed to. I think it was going to be called Myth and Goal. It was right before Blacklist Games went belly up.
I remember that.
And I was so excited for that because I'm like, oh yeah, something that's Blood Bowl-esque that isn't as complex as Blood Bowl, and then it just vanished.
There's a new edition of Quacks of Quacklenberg?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I know for me, theme is great. I have all sorts of themes, so it's like I don't think there's a specific theme that grabs me. Um, I don't think there's a specific mechanism that grabs me, but I do say one of the things I kind of think about is the fact that if I have a game and I'm playing it,
Oh,
if it
no, go ahead, finish. I'll bring it up after.
I can freeze like this. So you can, if you
No,
want.
I was as I was spinning through my brain, I was like, the thing that grabs me are stories that aren't scared to take a hard look at topics. That grabs me. Frostpunk, This War of Mine, like stuff like that. Even the reason why I love Dawn of Madness is because that's I mean that stories tells something rough in every story. There's some harsh topics, and I love games that are not scared to approach that. I mean that Frostpunk I loved. I played through all of it. And that's the reason why I called it, because there was nothing new coming out. They were done with the title. But I played through all of it a couple times because do you send the kids to work? I know Steve had a hard time with choosing between that law, put child labor, to for the betterment of the group. Do you do all these other things with This War of Mine? It's those stories of people caught in the middle of something terrible. Dawn of Madness. I mean, I watched some of Bairnt's playthrough because I didn't want the story to be full spoilers for me for the nurse, but the decision spaces you had to make for Emily's story was just like gripping. And so if you can give me a story that is like a gut wrencher, stuff that's hard to like, the decision you make has that type of deep impact, I'll be all about it. I think that's where my love for stuff is.
So it's interesting there because like I don't like War of Mine because of that.
That's just you're just the opposite of Steve.
Yeah, but like I literally just got done watching a documentary on the Blitz of Britain or Blitz in Britain. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it was about the bombing of London in World War II, right? But it was focused not on the war side of it, but focused on the civilian side of it. What they went through and how they survived, and
I would love that.
all the stories. It was fascinating, really good documentary.
Yeah.
But like I enjoyed that stuff too, but I enjoyed it in a different medium. I prefer presented in that way than like, because to me, War of Mine is fantasy and it's just there to be there. But if it's like based upon real stories or real things,
you're curious about the real stories. Yeah. I love all that stuff, whether it's real stories or fantasy. There's just something about the humanity in it, like, and the lack thereof that you see that I really love. It's also a reason why I like post-apocalyptic movies, because it like stuff like Walking Dead and things like that is because I know and I'll say this because I'm a pessimist about people, right? And so my thing is, when society falls and you see people being raw people, like, people aren't happy-go-lucky because that's when everything's going right. What happens when everything goes wrong? How do people change? How do they act? What's their behavior? That stuff I love that, because I don't know, the sociologist in me likes to just kind of see when you take away all rules and you strip the veil away, you see people for what they are. And some of them are good. Some of them are good and want to make things work. Some of them are bad. It's the reason why I love The Last of Us. It's just, there's certain scenes and certain things that come up that just feel so visceral, and I like that. And these games give me that. And that definitely is a draw to me. If a game has that type of raw storytelling, I'm about it.
Problem solved. I figured it out.
I know that's not for a lot of people. I know that's not for a lot of people, but I still enjoy the other stuff. But if you want a game to hit my collection, have This War of Mine is never leaving, because those stories are so good.
Yeah, it's interesting because
horribly but good. They're terrible but good.
Like Frostpunk, This War of Mine. No, but you give me like Underground. Oh shoot,
Railroad.
Freedom Up.
Yeah.
What's the name of that? Shoot.
Well,
No,
Freedom Underground Railroad.
Freedom
Yes, that's
Underground.
the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That one, or like even Orange Shall Overcome to some extent, you know, like stuff that's like it's based on true stuff. I like that better than
Yeah.
the other stuff, so it's interesting. But
Yeah, and that Orange Shall Overcome, I really liked it because when I flipped the card and I read that it was actually about a real person and what happened to that person, I was like, I now am in. I'm now in. And then I played the game with you, and I was like, oh, I'm liking this game a lot.
yeah, that's a really good game. It's a fun one.
So that's awesome to hear that those kind of themes really stick to you, Derek. That's sweetness. I mean, and I like those games too. And obviously they're in my collection, but not all of them are in my collection. But I mean, and that's I think sometimes when I reach for a game like this, War of Mine, is because I want to have that like experience. Like I want to,
Yeah,
like, and know it's fictional, but
yeah,
at
yeah,
least being
yeah.
able to experience things in a singular way where I'm not the hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's always the hero. It seems like.
yeah. And you don't have the sword of ultimate slashing to
Well,
go
as my
save the
friend would say, is
day.
whenever we play those JRPG games, you go around the town and you look in every single like bookshelf and every like you walk into every like barrel and look at it like, oh, you found an apple. Then we walk over to the other one, you pick this. My friend always be like, well, guys, just move on to the next thing. No, we got to look for all this stuff. What are you gonna find in that thing? The Incredible weapon? I bet it's not in there. Oh, look, you found another apple.
There's Gus, a skit. It's at Viva La Dirt. Oh crap! Who's the group that does it? They did a video game skit about that exact thing, Bairnt, having this.
Oh, does he? That's amazing. Yeah, no, he made fun of this like back when I was in college.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Force or something, and
yeah. And I've learned that the themes of things I like, I've had to curtail it if I want to play co-op games because not a lot of people like hard truths and
Sure.
sad things, right? They're like, I mean, board gaming is an escapism. It's like the world sucks. Let me go play a board game and forget that the world sucks for a little bit. I mean, it's the reason why I like Gloom and Killforth. It's the world sucked and I needed to get away for a while, right? So I remember I created a D&D campaign that was a little bit that was like visceral, and the players were like, yeah, this is too harsh. Can you can you change this? The decisions that we're having to make are too rough. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll change it. Okay, look, you see super evil skeleton, go fight that guy.
So I'm going to pull it back to what Bairnt mentioned a little bit about mechanisms and stuff like that. One mechanism that probably won't surprise a lot of people, but competitive games. I'm more likely to get rid of a competitive game in my collection than others, right? Just I found out that like Kim and I, she'll play every co-op, and we'll play competitive on occasion, so just to have it. But that kind of leads into a little bit more of how I manage what I have in my collection. Is I've always wanted to have a game to fill each option out there. I want to have a game collection that if someone comes over like, hey, I like this style game. Cool. Hey, I've got one game that will probably align to that. Let's play this one, right? A perfect example of that is you guys probably already know the Company of Heroes game I got. I always wanted a war game in my collection. I just didn't know which one. So I want just one. I'm good. I don't need any more past that point, right? Because it fills that spot in my collection, right? I want a Euro. Like I want a worker placement game. I want
branch out. You're good with just the one. You've always wanted that one. You don't need like I need to find 10 more war games.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I approach things, at least. Like I want to have one dexterity game in here, for example, you know, and I might have more than one if I kind of like it, but I tend to like want to have. I'm okay getting rid of stuff to make sure I have that breadth of encompassing different styles of games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's. I think I'm very somewhat similar in that aspect. If there's a type like I've got Marvel Dice Throne, I don't have any other Dice Throne. I've got Marvel Dice Throne because I like Marvel, and I wanted to have a Dice Throne game because I know that Ridley really enjoyed the Dice Throne, and that actually brought out, and of course that also has a co-op advantage to it. But even if it didn't, I've actually played it more competitive than I played it cooperative, because Ridley and his friends really enjoyed that game. So we played a lot 2-on-2, and we've had a great time doing it. But like I have the Marvel one because I don't need any other ones. It's not, so I got it. Right. And there's other games like that in my collection, but there's some that I have multiples of. Like I have Quackenberg and Cubitos. They fill the same itch, really. It's push your luck, either drawing from a bag or rolling dice, but maybe that alone makes it different enough. I've got, we have we've got some rolling rights that we really enjoy, and we've got enough rolling right. We've got these.
Derrick the Beholder.
That's right. That's right. Derrick the Beholder. He's good to go. We're able to take him down. Ridley laughs about that, dude. He still loves the fact that
Does he?
Derrick the Beholder. Derrick brings that up and goes, "Do you remember what Derrick beat the Beholder?" Derrick the Beholder.
I love it. I love it.
I have not found a roll and write game I enjoy. That's not a genre.
You would have loved it. I'll point you at it, Steve. We enjoyed this one. It's lots of fun.
Okay.
Well, of course, it's not. But then I don't know too many roll and writes that are cooperative. So
that's probably the problem. Yeah, I always see them pop up in my when I do the new stuff, and I normally always skip over them because it's never co-op. So
I think we haven't, like you said, I think it's very similar to you. I'm finding games that I can use in all aspects. Like I didn't buy it, but I borrowed it, called Ra. So it's our first. That was the first time that I introduced my family and gaming group to like what do you call it, auction mechanism.
Oh yeah.
And we had a lot of fun with it. It was really cool. To the point where like Robin's like, I want to play that again next week. I'm like,
oh,
done.
cool.
You play that. So like we found out that that's an enjoyable mechanism. But I don't know how.
Are you air quoting it every time?
I do. I don't know why. Because I'm afraid of the same mechanic. They're the ones that work on cars.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I am right. I always am. So I just kind of wonder when. Like how many of these do I need to like show people? Like I've also have like I've Seven Wonders Duel. I've got so that fills that kind of void. I've and so yeah, I've got like I think having a plethora of different styles and themes and things, I think really, especially if you're the one that is in charge of bringing the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Is something you need in your collection. I very rarely does somebody bring a game to me. I mean, unless it's like Colin, that because he and I obviously are the two that are the ones that are more often than not bringing a game. Bairnt is another one who will bring a game because we know Bairnt has got a lot of games that are one-off, competitive, sit down and enjoy for an hour, and then that was awesome. You know what I mean? Where I know mine are probably not hitting the gaming table very often with my friends unless we're saying, hey, who wants to invest maybe about 4 or 5 game nights into a campaign game just to see if we like it, want to keep on going to invest 4 or 5 more. You know what I mean? Like, let's play ISS Vanguard. Okay, who's got 3.5 hours to do the first mission? Not too many people. Okay, let's play Kingdom Death. Who's got 30 legends worth of time to play this, right? So I think that when it comes to campaign games and themes and that, you have to make sure you have enough mechanisms, time. Like we haven't talked about it, but time. How long does your game take?
That's what I was going to bring up next as a factor for keeping or selling.
Yeah, I mean, do I keep the 30 lantern year game that I might only get to the table one time and it costs you $1,000, or do I kind of stray away from that and pick up ones that are more small, bite-sized ones, which like Colin had. What is it? Fire Team Zero. Which is like a 3-mission campaign, and you're done with it. You put it away, and you can bring it back out because other missions, other campaign missions you can play, and that's easier to get to the table. And you can play it only like in 3 days,
or like Marvel United takes about 30 minutes to play a game. Done, right?
Done.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Randy,
it helps that they're all the same, Steve.
Awesome.
It helps that they're all the same.
Yeah, that was it, exactly. I would say Remy's comment here, a cartographer's co-op game would be awesome. I would really enjoy that, honestly. I don't know how you do it, but you have to think.
Yeah, that seems like it would go against it, though, but sure.
That's the thing, is that most of these rolling right type things, they're not really made for co-op. So, but anyway, that's beside there.
Yeah,
I think bring up something, Derrick, about length of more of like how that.
Yeah, time of play, like the length that it, I think there was a time during the initial COVID crisis where there was the board game resurgence, and a lot of people were coming into the space and buying up a ton of games, and it was like the great time to release a campaign that says 300 plus hours of gameplay and every game had 200 plus hours of gameplay, and you were just like, oh, I play this forever, and I buy a bunch, and then you never get to any of it. I'm guilty of that as well, and it's just more now I think what's happening is campaign fatigue.
Yeah.
I think is what the terminology is being used, where I don't have 300 plus hours to play your game. I'm sorry. I will never get to this. And then now you just see that stuff dying off and people wanting the one shots and the one and doneers.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen that. I mean, I think it just comes with the gradual age of gamers themselves. I mean, do you think about it? Back when I was in high school, going to college, just getting out of college and things like that, I had all the time in the world to hang out with friends, do fun things, play video games, stuff like that. But I didn't have the money to buy them. I was like, dang it, I wish I could get this game. And then I'd find the game like, oh, Oblivion. 300 plus hours to play this perfect, and I play for 3 hours, 100 hours. My money's worth out of that game, baby. Right nowadays, I go to the store and I'm like, oh, Oblivion, 300 plus hours. What are they thinking? I need maybe
you just put that right back on the shelf.
4 hours. Like I've been looking somewhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this game looks kind of cool. How long to beat this game? 12 hours. Really?
right.
12 hours. It's going to take me like 30 play sessions because I'll get like 20 minutes a day for like to get through it, right? So I mean, and I think that back when I had no kids or super young kids, I was like, oh my gosh, Madara is 180 hours. This is going to be great. I can play this every night. It's going to be super good. Now it's like, okay, Madara, I'm going to play this game. Ridley, can I have the table? Get your Warhammer minutes.
Right.
Warhammer tonight, Dad. Okay, well, I will not play a game tonight.
It's just the, I don't know.
I want to watch this show with you tonight. Okay, let's watch the show.
Yeah.
Well, Madara is still back here now. It hasn't hit the table in a long time because the amount of setup, well, it could be another thing to talk about, whether or not you keep a game, how long does it take to set it up? Right?
Mr. President got called after year one, man.
I'm still waiting
1 hour to set that game up.
Oh, yeah.
1 hour to set up.
The good news is Ridley liked that game, so he and I have no problem. We want to set.
Are y'all playing it?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for my update pack. They were supposed to have an update pack like this last summer, and it still hasn't come. So I'm wondering if it's ever coming, and if I'm about to give up on it. And Ridley and I were actually thinking about this summer playing through the game together.
The 4 years.
We could talk through things.
Yeah, one playthrough, right?
I think that game gets in its own way. It is a really good game. It is a really, really good game. The problem is the board is just a mind. The design on the board needs to be refined, and the setup time needs to be greatly reduced. Yeah,
you're good. You got 3 different things.
Oh my gosh! And then the book flipping. I feel about constant book flipping. So
that's the name of the game. So yeah, if you don't like that, you're out of luck here.
Yeah, but I played through a year, and I enjoyed it for what it was, and then I took it down and sold it.
Yeah, but I mean, again, time and stuff like that. Like your Gloom of Kill for it doesn't take much to set up. It's like a one and done. You've probably got it down to being able to do it in about an hour and a half at the most.
Autocrat expansion.
It's with wheat.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to bring up is I'm not sure it's a mechanism per se. Maybe just a feature or a factor of games. But if a game has a lot of variability, I'm more likely to keep it in my collection. Because the more combinations it has for me to try out, be it campaign or one-off, doesn't matter, makes me want to keep it around to eventually experience more of those combinations. United, obviously, is one you see on the channel all the time, for that definitely scratches that itch. One we see on occasion, but is amazing comes to variability, is Marvel Legendary.
Yeah.
We've got
your Lord of the Rings stuff, you deck builds, which you like. And that has a lot
Street
of
Masters I have for that reason too, and just things that Deep Rock has a lot of variabilities. The stuff that has like a lot of options to it, I tend to keep those quite a bit. So Ashes, there you go, Derrick.
Yeah, Ashes for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, it's funny because those games you're mentioning right now, Steve, that's the reason I don't have those games.
There's too much options.
There's not only too much options, but I don't feel the game like it's. Even though the options are there, I don't think the options are variable enough to make me want to keep playing the game. In those type of games, there wasn't. It's like, oh, this guy can like punch through walls, where this guy has to drill through the walls. I'm like, okay, like great. Or we can play this mission where we have to go do this thing. Well, it always seems like you have to do this thing. It's like, Great. The map's a little bit different. We're fighting different bugs, but we're still the same things going on. Which
You lost me a little. You lost me a little. So can you?
I think it's because there's no progression for me in those type of games. Even though the variability is there, the progression is not.
So
There's
if
not
I think you're using examples from Deep Rock Galactic. That actually has progression in it as well.
They do have a campaign system now.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Have you played it with the progression?
It might be fun then.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm still not putting that together because a lot of games are that where you just fight a thing.
Yes,
So.
it is that. But for me, then there's if you tack a campaign onto that, then I start being excited about it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
now I'm seeing, instead of just, okay, I'm going to play with this sword guy and he's going to go beat up these guys. And then when I'm done with that mission, I put it away. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back out and we're going to fight different dudes with the magic guy. Okay, that's great. But I'm really not seeing, like, there's not a, it's still the same mechanism. I'm still using guy to beat thing.
Do you like Slay the Spire?
No. I mean, I do, but it's not something I'm ever going to own. Now, I like Dead Cells. That's sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
Because again, there's a lot of progression in that. Where in Slay the Spire, I know things open up and you do it, but I guess when I played it,
Hold the piece of toys put together.
This is true. But like for example, for Slay the Spire, I think one of the things that kind of caught me off guard is Colin just put every card in there, and there was nothing unlocking except for who you fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then there's only 4 dudes to choose from.
Okay.
Where in Dead Cells, every time we were doing something, we were able to buy new cards. We were able to buy this thing. We were able to buy that thing. We were able to open this thing. You're able to, okay, well, now this time, because we have this, we can go through this door to get up to here. So I felt like there was progression in that game. Where in Slay the Spire, it really just kind of felt, pick a boss, go up these things, boom, next thing. Pick a boss, go up this thing, boom.
Interesting, even though you get new stuff and different things.
Yeah, but and then
it's still the same path that he's saying.
Even the path is different though, technically.
Right, it's different, but it's not different enough. It's like, okay, instead of going and killing 2 guys and then a harder guy, I could kill 2 guys and go to a campsite.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody put that on the table and said, let's play Slay the Spire, sure, I'd play it. I think I'd have a good time playing it and I'd have a lot of fun.
But you never own it. Yeah, like you said. Yeah.
But you'd probably like it for the unlock stuff. So before Colin unlocked all that stuff, you might like Slay the Spire better then. That's
what I mean. If I had my original raw copy and I had to like unlock certain cards, but then I had the issue where some of the cards were so overpowered, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, okay. And it's like, okay, so what do we do about this guy? Well, I can do 2 damage to this guy. Well, I can play this card and I did 5 damage to every person on the board, kill 3 people, and there's 1 guy left with 2 health. That's great. I'm like, I see no challenge here. Why?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I would then say stay away from Dice Throne Adventures and Outcasts because you will not like that. It's that you.
I also know that I love a challenge. I also love a challenge. I hate being the one at the end where I'm like, okay, so I played for 3 hours and I got all these buffs and everything. All right, we're gonna fight the main boss. 1 shot. I'm like, that was crap. That guy wasn't worth fighting. I want to live a challenge.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. The pendulum swings on that for me because I'm like, if the story's really, and Steve and I was talking about this recently about Isofarian Guard, where he was like, no, the challenge has to be there for you to really get in. I was like, I don't care. I just want to walk the world. I don't care for the challenge. But I get what you're saying about you don't want to say, okay, I'm playing this thing. I go up to the boss and all right, the boss hit me. Cool. He did 20 damage. Ooh, that hurt. That sucks. Okay, my turn. Combo, dead.
Yeah. Like, so glad that guy. It just seems like it's almost like that Indiana Jones movie where all of a sudden the guy brings out
and then he just shot him.
Done. It's like, okay, that was an awesome fight.
That wasn't planned.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Like, okay, that's great. Super good. So I think I kind of need that challenge sometimes, but like sometimes I don't. Like, don't get me wrong, Derek. There's games where I'm kind of like feel good that I'm super awesome, but I can't think of how many that I'm like that I like that. I think unless I like it more when you're able to defeat something and it's not a boss, but it's like something you have to get through and you're able to do it super well. Then I feel like I've accomplished it. But if it feels like a boss, I just can't. it hurts so much. Like when I played Final Fantasy VIII for the very first time, it was a tough game. Everything was like, oh man, I barely beat it at the skin of my teeth. And then I played it again like years later, and I went and I got like ultimate.
You got everything.
And I go up to the main guy and I'm like, ultimate summon, boom, boom. I got 999,999 damage. Boom, boom, done.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
This person's supposed to destroy the world, and I shot her twice and summoned one thing, and that was it. Why can't I control the world? I should be the world.
I don't mind that if I don't know. Like I said, I go back and forth on that. There are games where the challenge is fun because the mechanisms, I guess that's the word we have to use now, is tight enough that I don't feel like I'm being constantly oppressed and crushed and punished.
Sure.
Then I'm okay with doing it. But if I get into a game where I just constantly feel beat down, like it's a slog to go from place to place to place, I'm like, no, I don't mind ruling it to where I'm just walking through and one-shotting people, and then I get to the boss, cool, one-shot the boss and keep going. I think it's more, it depends on when I'm playing it, how I'm feeling the game is progressing. I think Dragon Eclipse is great, and I love the challenge because it's so, the fights are so tightly tuned to try to tame these monsters,
Right.
that it just feels really good to do what you're talking about, like have that challenge. But when I get to other games, I won't name any because I have a few in mind where I just constantly feel tired and beat down. I'm like, now I'm gonna one shot this.
I'm not gonna lie, Brian. That's saying the same thing. Help! I'm being impressed. I'm being impressed. It's the same thing too. But I'm kind of in between both of you. I find out that I need the challenge, but if I can put forth the effort to get really powerful and one shot the boss, then I'm good with that because I put forth the work to do it, right? So I don't need necessarily the ending battle to be super challenging as long as that is a possibility if I don't do XYZ. Like if I strategize and build towards it, I'm good with reaping the benefits of my plan, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And mine is, I know you don't call, I use this term, but I want to switch it for this one because if I say it's min maxing, both of you will be like, we don't min max. And so
No,
like,
I don't.
for me, it's more the Madara. Let's go to good old Madara. I just want to. Oh, cool! This sword looks cool. It gives me +2 dice rolls. All right, I'm gonna use that. These shoes. All right, I get to move an extra speed. Okay, I'm gonna use that. No, I don't want to say. No, you have to pair these two things together and make sure that you drink your soda pop a superpowerness before you go into a fight. I don't want to do all that. I just give me some crap and let me walk the world, and I'll be happy. And I think with Madara, it was just punish. That game was just punishment
Can be for sure.
incarnate.
No, it wasn't punishment because you were using the wrong stuff and not min maxing. It was punishment because you had to roll dice.
I think. Well, I don't
Those are the
agree
most
with
brutal
that.
dice of any board game out there.
It's true.
I think it's just more. I've played games where I roll dice, I suck at it, and I still enjoy the game. This game, it was like every single time I brought up, and it wasn't with you two. If I talk to anybody about who love Madara, about Madara, their thing is, well, you just didn't have the right build. I don't care for the right. I don't care. Well, this build will let you re-roll your dice. I don't care. I just want to freaking walk the world and feel the story.
I think it's a bad game design. I would probably say that pretty confidently here. If you have to have a special build to beat something, right?
Yes.
If you can do that and beat something, cool, but it shouldn't be a requirement. And I don't think Madara has that, to be honest, because honestly, when Bairnt and I played, I built whatever heck I wanted. It was just fun.
I struggled in that game. It felt like it was work.
But yeah,
to play it.
But the thing is, I had Bairnt playing. He already knew like good game strategies to do, not min maxing, but good game strategies and approaches to it. So that's the kicker. Like that's where it gets kind of that weird gray area where like you kind of need to know. You have these learnings to make the game fun, but you might not know that going out the gate, because like Midara, you can get one shotted in like the first room, whatever it happens.
In
to
the
people.
first fight.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
And I think that's the thing that I struggle with, is that there's a lot of people who make games with the vision of, I want my game to be challenging. And if there's a playtest scenario where someone comes up with this grand old strategy of how to make the game easier, overall they make the game harder, right? Because they're like, okay, well, that was too easy for you, so I'm going to tweak this and make this even harder.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't yeah, I just don't like that.
I apologize every time you come over to play a game. It's like, Kim's like, did you make this harder? I'm like, maybe.
I think though, I think when I know when I'm going into it and I know it's a lost cause, I'm more forgiving of it. Like it doesn't bother me. If I play a game with you and you're like, no, we're gonna add all these other states because let's make the game fun. I know it's gonna be hard, so I'm like, I'm just in here to die. Let's do
That's
this.
fair.
But if I'm playing a game by myself, I'm a solo gamer. I don't have someone to play to play games with on the stream. That when I'm doing that and the game becomes like just this I don't even know how to describe it. It's just annoying. It becomes not fun. I guess that's the best way to say it. The game becomes not fun for me. I love Aeon's End. There was a fight that Patrick and I went through on Aeon's End that we were both just done. Like we were like, this sucks. We're not having fun. We just want to get through this and be done with it. And I think a lot of I feel like a lot I won't say all, I won't say many. I'll say a lot of designers want their games to be hard. And I'm like, they don't have to be. Just make them fun.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
whether they're easy or not, it doesn't matter. If someone comes around and says, and I've seen a lot of comments on BGG where I'm on a tirade here, so tell me to shut up if I'm talking too much. But I see a lot of comments on BGG where people in the comments say things like, "Oh, this game's a cakewalk. It's so easy. I called this game because it's easy. It's garbage." I'm like, good for you. Other people want their game to be lighter. They don't want to get beat down every single time they play a game. You might. I mean, there are people who like getting kicked in the nuts. That doesn't mean I like it.
No,
So
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan
so
of that.
it's just more I think if designers just focus on making their games fun, then I think whether it's easy or hard, people will come back to it.
Sure.
I totally agree. I think fun is the biggest factor here. But everybody, of course, everybody has their own definition of fun. Some like dinger kickers. That's just what they like, and they're gonna gravitate toward dinger kickers. There's nothing you can do, right? Whereas some people are like, you know what? I'd rather go walking through and picking flowers and enjoying being able to smell the roses. I know that's like two extremes. But, I mean, that's everybody's got. That's I think that's one reason why there's so many games out there. And I think when games actually click for something you enjoy, maybe it be picking flowers or getting dinger kickered, you know that
Dinger
other games
kickered.
are going to flow.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt with that now.
And I
Dinger
think
kicker kicking contest. That's right.
so I mean, like for example, we've talked about this War of Mine. Every time I play that game, it's a challenge, but
Yeah.
there's nothing that I'm not doing that I feel like, oh, if I would have done this, it would have been a cakewalk. Or if
Yeah.
I would have done this, if I hadn't done this, I would have lost the game. Because I think that game I think that's one of the reasons it's so good. It walks that fine line of
Yeah.
things happening to you, and I think you have to like mitigate some of the stuff that's happening
Right.
to you while still trying to advance. And so, sure enough, there's things that could go wrong, really wrong, but
Yeah.
but that game gives you the ability to come out of that if you're lucky enough. And so I think finding the balance and what you think is the fun in games is important. And you're going to have different points in your life where certain things are going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said before, I loved those 100-hour, 80-hour games when I was young. Now I'm old. Give me a 6-hour game. I'm good to go.
Right, exactly.
That's what I got. That's the time I got, right?
Yeah, I think it's just more like, yeah, I agree with you, Bairnt. I agree. It's tough only because it's like you want everybody has these varying needs. It's not just, oh, I like all easy games. People like a challenge. It's just
Mhm.
more the type of challenge that you like will vary. And
Yep.
some people like Machina Arcana, some people won't. Some people like Madara, some people won't. It's just how it is.
And I think that also shows what the comment a long time ago. It says like, I hate it when I sell a game and like a year later I want to play it again. I think because people move through different stages of life and different
Yeah,
stages
that's
of the
fair.
world,
That's fair.
that like even their game collections change. Sure, like you said, there's nostalgic games. I've got Aliens and I'm never going to get rid of it, right? But over the course of this time, there might be a game I got rid of where I'm kind of like, oh, I remember when I wanted to get one. I remember playing that game. It was super fun back then, but I didn't want to play it anymore. But now I want to play it again. And so we have to try to get that game back. That didn't happen to me because I just never get rid of games very often. So I think, and sadly to my wife's demise, keep on
I think
storing.
Emil has an interesting comment though too.
Floor down here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times the games that I don't keep in my collections because I play through it one or two times, even just missions, and realize it's not doing anything that something else I have already that I enjoy more is doing, or has a theme I enjoy more is doing. And I think that's another big thing is if those mechanisms are not unique enough, sometimes those games don't stick around. Like,
It's like
oh,
Jones
this,
Theory, right?
this is an awesome dice placement game where I can do these cool things. That's great, but I've got role player and I really enjoy the theme of role player. That's a great dice placement, dice drafting game. Do I want to keep this other dice drafting, dice placement game about picking flowers? I don't know. That theme just doesn't stick as well as being able to make a player character that I'm never going to use in a role playing game, but it's still fun because of this dude, right? Or this girl, right? This guy.
Well,
this
now
girl.
you can. Now you can.
You can.
Right. So, I mean, I think then again, like then you have to decide if that's, or again, you also have to know your audience.
Yeah.
I know I know Derrick, you only have like one or two people sometimes you play games with a lot, but I mean, I've got my kids, I've got my wife, I've got two friends, I've got two different groups of friends that sometimes come over and play games. So I'm grabbing things that I know are going to fit with their style. Like I've got some friends that more than two rules and right over their head. Where I've got other people's like, I want to play that 4.5 complexity game right now. It's like, okay, I've got this one. And put like some big giant honker on the table. And so I know that I got my kids. My kids, they want something quick and fast that can set up quick, fast, and we play, and then we put it away and we enjoy it, like Project L or something, you know? So I think knowing your audience is also a big one as well.
Yeah.
And
Steve,
now I'm going to talk about it.
yeah, Steve, what were you gonna say?
I was talking about that was my bullet point was Jones Theory. So, which is exactly what Bairnt talked about. Talking about
Jones Theory?
Yeah.
Does he have a fedora?
Oh my god.
Maybe.
That was a good one.
Maybe. Does he? Well, it comes from Dice Tower, right? And he likes it. Yeah. So it's not. But I don't think it's Vassal who does wear fedoras. So.
But, I never thought about that. He does, doesn't he?
But anyway, Jones Theory is basically like, hey, if I have a game in my collection that already does what this other game does, am I likely to keep both games or part with one of them? And Jones Theory is like you part with one of them, right? And so yeah, that's definitely true for me for most of the case. Talk about like wanting to have a collection that does a little bit of everything, right? Because like I only have so much space. Of course, there are exceptions we were talked about before, like stealth, right? I'm okay having tons of stealth games out there, but yeah, that is the approach. I think I'm curious. Do you guys do Jones Theory? I mean, Bairnt sounds like you do, but Derrick, do you?
A little bit, unless it's a mechanism or a theme that I really enjoy. Like,
well, that's the whole thing, right? If it's unique, you want to keep it, right? Because it's different
right.
Jones Theory going on, right?
Yeah.
Let me test that a little bit. So you tell me. So I have all four things of Explore It. Should I have gotten rid of one with Jones Theory?
No, it means that because it's all like the same
type of
They're all different.
Same game. They're different, right? But it's all the same game system. I'm talking about different games completely. Like if there was another game that was
actually to tell you the point, here's the point. Here's your truth and point. Hexplore It and all the Killforth games. Similar style. It's like a one-off adventure
sandboxy.
Sandboxy adventure games.
I have both of them, yeah. I have both of them.
Jones Theory says maybe you should have gotten rid of one of those.
Correct.
They're both in the same thing.
Jones could kiss my butt.
But they do things a little bit differently, right?
Yeah. Indie don't know nothing.
It's subjective. So
no, I'm kidding. But No, I guess I don't follow it then. If those two are considered on the same, on the same thing, then no, I
But
don't.
I think,
But
at least for
on the flip
me,
side, do you have how many dice placement games do you have?
I would love to find more.
So
Honestly,
that could be a mechanism you enjoy, and it doesn't matter how many of those you have, you're still going to enjoy them because now it would go down to theme as opposed to mechanism. I love
yeah,
those placement games, but I like these 4 because they kind of have these cool themes or these cool things that interact together and things like that. Where like campaign games, how many sci-fi campaign games do I have? How many adventure side games do I? How many medieval or fantasy ones do I have? Sword and sorcery.
but you'll stay. But according to this theory, I'm just trying to understand it. So, but according to this theory, you would then say, if I already have Chronicles of Drunagor, I would not get Sword and Sorcery because it's similar.
sure, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
There, if the mechanisms inside it are similar enough. For
correct,
that,
similar enough.
actually, I would say
Ooh, yeah, that's fair because I do that with Zombicide. Yeah,
Mhm.
I just need one. I don't need all of them. So, yep. Okay. All right, I understand now.
Well, and I find this kind of interesting because it doesn't mean you have to follow this or whatever, no big deal. But
Right.
like, I feel like the games that are exceptions to you when it comes to the Jones theory probably means those genres are ones you particularly like a lot. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
in an indirect way, like it's subconsciously like I really like this genre, and that's kind of like I said when I was looking at my collection, I was noticing I got a lot of stealth on here. This is probably
even
something
a
I really
publisher.
like. So
Be a publisher that you like, that you enjoy what they do, and so even if they
Right.
come out with something that's different, you still enjoy it because I like that publisher a lot. That might
Yeah.
be something. I mean, I have case
Yeah.
in point. I think I have almost every Awakened Realms game except 2.
yeah,
Yeah, mine's from Tristan. So yeah, I think I have all his
designers,
games.
publishers, exactly. So
Yeah.
Designer.
kind of like, in my opinion, the Jones theory isn't as important in itself, but the fact that you can look at your collection and see what breaks that kind of helps you determine what you like and dislike.
That's a good thought experiment. I'm gonna have to do that.
There you go. Now you got something to do today.
That's something to do today.
Wow.
I mean, it's not like there's a holiday this weekend.
Thanks for calling me out as being like this loser.
Wow, I did, didn't I? I'm just a jerk. I'm just a jerk, and I don't even realize it.
Now that you have no life and are a basic loser, now you have
Well,
something to
work
do
on
today.
excellent talk
Thank you,
today.
Bairnt.
You know you have
You've
nothing
given
else to do.
purpose to my life.
What, Derek, when we're done talking, turn like this for like the next 3 hours.
That's okay. We've seen Bairnt tell the chat to suck it, so
That was amazing. I've never done that before. Until 2 weeks ago.
I was thinking about jumping out a window, but Bairnt's brought meaning to my life. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I got stuff to do.
Right, good to go. I'm here for you, Derek.
What's so funny is that after this, Bairnt is such the most amazing person ever, human being ever. After this, I bet you I'm going to get a polo where he's like, "I'm so sorry."
yes.
I'm doing it right now. Derek, I'm
For
really
sure.
sorry. No, we didn't take it.
I'm so sorry, man. I didn't
For a
mean it. I
heartfelt
love you
message.
so
I didn't mean it. Absolutely Bairnt style.
I'm sending you a
Absolutely.
sorry card.
there's
right now.
I talked about this a couple times, but there was a study, and I think Steve and I talked about it. I think Steve was the one that told me about it. Was where, if your friends like insult in a playful way, insult each other,
Yes.
are 30% more likely to be loyal.
right.
Like the friends that are completely like cruel to you, but in a loving way, are like the closest people you will know.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, we had our tight knit group had a saying: your friends will help you get through your pain, and your best friends will make fun of it.
Yep.
Yes. Accurate. Right. Cool. All right. Well.
That's where we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop on that.
Yep. Good life lesson.
Great. Games are great. Go play them.
We've stopped with I have a meaning to life now.
Thank you,
Bairnt. Thank you, Bairnt.
I'm here for Derek every weekend. I will find his path.
Bairnt Dittler, life coach.
Get a shirt now. It's a life coach, digger kicker.
Digger kicker.
Digger kicker.
That's on the back.
Well, Yes. Oh, good stuff. The streams are worst. Good thing I have you to consider.
Give me a good laugh. Oh my
Oh, too good.
Oh boy, good times. Okay, well, yeah, that was a good fun. Good fun. I'm glad we were able to get back and do this chat. It's been missing out
It's been too
on
long.
doing these.
Yeah.
So I wish we could do more often, but life gets in the way. So, but
Especially since it's May-December, it's really tough.
Yeah.
We looked at this, and we have more going on in May than we ever do in December somehow. So we call it
Wow.
May-December.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be if there is a co-op chat next week, I'll be there, but then the following 2 I will be missing those. So
Okay.
y'all will have to enjoy those.
Speaking of things
Let me
coming
check
up.
what I got on my docket. Nice.
Yeah, since you've looked at your docket, Bairnt, what do we have coming on your docket?
Well, let's see. I think Tuesday we're going to be playing more Nanolith. We're actually having a lot of fun with that. Let me see my other one here. And then after that, we've got Colin's going to do some games. And I got maybe a game.
Is that a glove? What is that document?
They are gloves. These are my expired surgical gloves I use for painting. So I just so many of these just laying around.
Oh my gosh.
So you never know what's on Bairnt's painting station. We can play that someday. Name what's on Bairnt's painting station. I even got pieces of glass on my painting station because I broke glass down here the other day.
Ooh.
So I've got we're doing Nanolith on Tuesday, and other than that, no, Colin's got a few things coming, I'm sure. I've got a few things. I don't know what I'm doing next.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to do maybe that. Oh, I don't know. I might do I know I've got more Seven Citadel and more Myth coming, in theory. I don't have anything too new right now. It's we've kind of talked about this in our messages sometimes. Is that we're in an area right now in May that there's not a lot of really new stuff coming out that isn't huge. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Because there's the one game that I thought you and Robin would have done. There's like an escape room legacy game. I forgot what it's called. Pandora's Legacy.
Well, I hope Robin's not listening to this because that's what she's getting for Mother's Day. So that would be great.
Well, you didn't have to say that. You could just say we're looking at it.
I'll look into it. What?
Jeez.
I'm pretty sly, aren't I?
Oh my god.
Do not tell Bairnt's secrets. The simplest thing you'll spoil.
There's so many different ways to approach that. Nope.
Surprise!
Oh gosh.
Oh boy. Oh,
well,
man.
that's what I got coming up.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you made my day with that one.
Okay,
thanks,
well.
Derrick. Well, no, you did. Yeah. So, Steve, what do you got coming up?
Okay, well, I have of course, Marvel Mondays, so we got to do that. Wednesday is something new. I was in recent discussions with the designer for Paint the Roses. Speaking of older games, and I'm going to do a live stream with him on Wednesday where we're going to play through a game. Actually, a couple of games of that. But we're also going to be talking about design questions of it and the strategy of it, how to interpret the deduction element of it. So the designer's going to give tips and tricks on how to approach the game and different ideas. So I'm looking forward for that one. And then sometime next week, I'm not sure exactly when, I'm going to do an extra stream of Maladum because I want to cover that one. So Maladum, it's the Oblivion's Maw expansion. The big old tentacle over otherworldly beast battle. So
you paint that up, but it looks awesome.
He's been super quiet about that.
I bet it would look auction painted. Yes.
Paint it.
You just need to drive an hour and get it painted. I know a commissioned painter that lives about an hour from you named Derrick.
I need to paint my I actually have a two friends who come over once a week to play Primal. So I'm actually playing the campaign.
That's awesome.
But this main thing is I have to paint the minis before they play, because they would like that for their immersion. So
Sure.
I have a mini to paint already for Primal.
Nice. And those are not quick minis.
No, they are not.
What else you got, Steve?
Oh, probably all that for now. There's some other videos I'm working behind the scenes and recorded stuff, but I don't know when they're going to drop exactly. So, what you got, Derrick?
Steve has Marvel Mondays. I have lunchtime stream Tuesdays with Marvel United.
We're getting pretty far in that campaign.
Yeah, we're moving through it. We're moving through it. For sure.
But we're getting pretty far.
Yeah. At some point, we need to return to the middle of the map, though.
Yeah, I have to get the teams unlocked.
Yeah, we have to get all the teams unlocked first. But we're doing that on Tuesday. Then Tuesday night, I don't know what I'm going to play. Something. I haven't decided yet. Thursday is Aeon's End with Pac-Man, and then this Sunday is going to be the finale of the Dunwich Legacy for Arkham Horror with Kate and Cynthia, and then the following Sunday we're starting the Drowned City.
Yeah,
so it's going to be fun stuff. I'm also trying to get Divinity Original Sin on the table to be recorded, so that's kind of a goal, one of the life goals that Bairnt has set for me. So I can have a life now. I can be a person.
You can. I have to admit, Derrick, I am exceedingly jealous that you have a Arkham Horror group that you get to play through all these things together. That's super, super cool.
Yeah, they have been fantastic, and I'm actually going to visit one soon. I'm going to visit Cynthia and Brian soon, so it'll be fun to see them.
Yeah, apparently I need to fix the code. So
good stuff.
Okay, yeah, I've got another version of the code I haven't pushed out yet. So,
yep.
Anyway, all right, I think we've been going on for long here, but yeah, thanks guys. As always, it's a blast chatting with you guys. So always look forward to co-op chats whenever we can make it work. So
yep.
And I'm sure you guys already know, but if you guys don't know, go check out Bairnt at Meet Me at the Table and Derrick at Kanji Studios. They do awesome work over there. So all right.
Hey, can we do the fusion? Can we do the fusion dance?
Nope. Close enough. Okay.
Now everything's upside down.
That's right. Thanks everyone for joining. See you next time at the guild. Bye-bye.
Bye.